Hello and welcome to the Nerdiest podcast, where nerds talk about nerdy things. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Jackson Glass, as always, here with my co-host, Mr. Nick Barrett, and I want to hear how his week was. But before we do that, I need to do a little plug to say follow us on Instagram at the Nerdiest Podcast so you can know when new episodes are coming out. We're going to be putting out some cool content there soon. We had to kind of take a break from the Instagram, but it's coming back, baby. It's coming back. I'm coming back for you. So you can follow us on Instagram at the Nerdiest Podcast, Twitter at NerdiestPod, and you can buy your stickers. 3 designs. They're all $3, super cheap. Link in the description for all that stuff. Now that that's out of the way, you can actually come to what you listen for. And I'm just here to say, Nick, how was your week?
It could be better, honestly, personally speaking. I do want to note, this is the Nerdiest Podcast episode 81, question mark? I think it's 81. And, okay, I know we said last episode that the next episode was going to be Pirates of the Caribbean. But again, I don't think people understand how long those movies are.
Yeah, they're long.
And how busy we are.
Yeah, we're busy.
And just haven't had time. So I'm not going to promise you that the next episode is Pirates of the Caribbean Revisit, but I'm going to say that is the plan. And plans change. Ironically enough, that's not the word I was looking for.
Plans change.
Juxtaposed to the song.
Plans change.
I was trying to do.
Some things never change.
That's exactly.
Like the way
That's exactly. I was trying to juxtapose.
Some things stay the same.
I'm so tired.
You're so
I'm not even
dumb.
gonna lie. Like, I'm tired. I'm dumb. My nose has been running all day because my allergies. It's like the seasonal change time.
It's okay.
Going from fall to winter, so now my allergies are bothering me, and Premiere is just, some days I want to throw my computer off a bridge.
I know what you
really
mean.
do.
I know what you mean.
Premiere is frustrating. So, and it's not like I can afford to get a new computer right now. So,
so buy stickers.
I'm kind of just stuck with things the way they are. So buy the stickers so I can get a new computer. I kind of want to do the math. How many stickers would people need to buy?
So you do the math.
Get me a new computer. I'll do that while you're explaining your week.
Yes. So this week has been good. I'm not going to say it was perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect week. But so far it's been really good. We have some exciting creative ventures going on, is what I'll say. Currently working on upgrading a podcast setup, and so that I can sound better on this podcast. And we're reviving the Coffee Time podcast, which was my other podcast that had to take a break, but we're bringing it back. And it's going to be so great. It's going to be so high quality. I wanted to do something. I want to create things that I'm proud of. And the quality of Coffee Time just wasn't doing that. And so, like, I don't know. I'm just really happy because I've been working on and creating a lot of stuff that I'm proud of. And I hope that I'm proud of it in the future. Now, I say that because I've been going through a lot of old stuff that I've done, and it's just like old videos or music or podcasts or whatever it is. Bless you. And I'm just not proud of it anymore. And so it's like I've just gotten better. And so I want to always get better, but I also want to create things that are set in stone as good. So that's just kind of a little tangent of what's been kind of going on in my head this week. Because, like, I want to get back into YouTube. And it's like, that used to be such a joy of mine. And I haven't been able to do that. And so just working out a schedule for, like, next semester. And, like, looking at, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas break. And, like, what I can do there with, like, the free time. And, like, how do I restructure to have more free time to really do the things I love like that. Without sacrificing things like good grades and like time with friends and family. So that's kind of just what's been going on. But I've spent a lot of money this week on some upgrades, and you'll see it very, very soon.
I feel that.
I'll try to post about it on Instagram, so follow there and you'll kind of see what's been going on. Other than that, I had a great time last night. I got to go to the CMA Awards, which is country music's biggest night. Which it's so funny
Odd.
because I'm not even like a huge country music fan. I just love live production. And so like and music. And so seeing like the huge arena full of people, and the funniest part is like this is a live production. It's on TV. Like my mom was watching it at home like I can't believe you're there. And so the funniest thing is in between commercial breaks, people like get up. Like during commercial breaks, people get up and they like go to the bathroom or get drinks, or like the celebrities will be out on the floor and they'll all like mingle with each other. But when it's time to come back, they want everyone sitting down. So like it looks like nothing changed. And so there's a huge announcer when commercial breaks are over. They're like, "Oh, we're back in 60 seconds." And then like everyone's talking. It's like, "We're back in 45 seconds." They're like, "Okay, 30 seconds. So please take your seats." No one sits down. 20 seconds, please take your seats. And then it's like 10 seconds, butts in seats, please. Like over the arena speakers. They're like, "Butts in seats, please."
Sit down.
Sit
now.
down. The guy was getting so pissed, and it was hilarious because he even at one point he was like, 5 seconds, please sit down so we can continue the show. It was like, that was the most entertaining part to me, was that guy that had to tell everyone to sit down. And then like at 3 seconds, they ask you to start applauding. He's like, "Applause, please." So like it can start and come in with like a huge applause. And so, I don't know, that was just a really unique experience that I'm glad I got to have. So now I'm here, popped open a fresh LaCroix, and I'm Jay
That's
chillin'.
crazy.
Jay chillin'.
I will say something I forgot to mention is I started working out this week, like more consistently. And when I say working out, I mean doing push-ups before I go to bed. And then we have like this 8-pound weighted ball that I'm doing like ab twists with, and just doing that and going to bed even just a fraction of a bit earlier than I was before. Like I was staying up till 1, 2, sleeping till 10, but now I'm going to bed at like 11, maybe 12:30 at the latest. And then when I naturally wake up at 8:07, I'm like, all right, that's when the body said we're getting up. I'll do the ab twist, shower, I have shakes for breakfast now, which is pretty dope.
Wow.
And then I come up and work, and then I actually like have productive day. Like I filmed an entire video today and all of the B-roll footage, and now I just have to edit it. So just having a bit more of a set routine has genuinely changed the way my weeks go, and they don't feel like they just blur together now, because I also like last weekend was the first weekend in a long time where I actually had no work to do on the weekend. Like I was open to watch TV or play video games or go to the gym or whatever I wanted to do without having to think, okay, well, this podcast comes out tomorrow, so I have to sit here and edit it, and you know, these clips go out this week and I need to edit it. Like having the weekend free really motivates me to get my work done during the week. And I also will take one day off during the week, because I found that not doing that burns me out too much. So I'll take like Wednesday is usually my day off, and I'll get up, I'll do my normal like workouts and stuff, and then I'll stop working at 2 instead of 6, and just kind of have a little bit more free time on that day. Right. So it's not, okay, we're working from 10 to 6 every single day, even though, you know, it's not like it's stuff that I'm getting paid for. I'm just kind of organizing my week, and having that structure is really helpful.
Right.
And so yeah, like I'll edit this podcast tomorrow, so I'm not doing it this weekend.
Yeah. That's a healthy schedule, though.
Having that genuine game changer, honestly.
That is a healthy schedule.
Getting fit is a good thing.
It is.
Shocker. I know, right?
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, that's
like, it's interesting when you don't like, there's nothing else to set your schedule for you, and so you have to kind of like build a routine. And so like I have to build a routine, but like my routine is kind of set by when classes are. So it's like, right. Oh, I have a routine, but I also have this at 9 and this at 12. Like that's my routine. And so it's interesting when you're like independent and in like an in-between place of like, oh, I have to do that myself. and like, or else, and I completely relate to like, if I don't have a routine, or like if I don't have like a set in stone, like this intentional time of what I'm doing, it's not going to get done. And so good on you. You see, exercise is just the one thing that I've always like been really bad at doing consistently. So props to you.
It's so simple. Like, all I do is I have gloves so I don't hurt my hands, but I literally, like, my bed right there, I incline against the bed and I do push-ups on the bed frame. That's it. I did 200 the other night.
Oh my gosh.
I did like 10 sets of 20 because I as much as I want to, I cannot do 200 push-ups in one go. So my goal is 200, but then there are some nights, and one of the important things is just listening when your body says no. Because like the other night I tried to do 200 and I capped out at 100 and my arms were just like, no, please stop.
Yeah.
You're going to tear something if you keep going. And I'm like, okay, well, I did 100 and that's still pretty good. So just having that kind of stuff has been really great, honestly. And I have like a daily planner that I fill out every week. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to assign, editing this and filming this to this day. And, I'm going to take this day off. Or if I need to call and cancel a dentist appointment or something, which I actually
cancel
need to
a dentist appointment.
I need to cancel and reschedule it because it's not going to work.
That was too specific to not be true.
that was really targeted, actually. So yeah, just plan out your weeks. Makes your life a lot easier. Or at least it makes my life easier.
I wish you could see my Google Calendar. Wait, I don't have to wish. I can
plan
show
out
you.
Structure.
That's my Google Calendar.
My Google Calendar was a mess.
That's my Google Calendar.
Although, to be fair, that is
Last
also
month.
what my Google Calendar looked like when I was in school.
That was last month. It was really bad. But this month, I get Thanksgiving break, which is like incredible.
Breaks are a godsend for
Amen,
college
brother.
students.
Amen.
Okay. Before we move on, I want to point out we didn't post about it on Instagram because it kind of snuck up on me. But over the past week of this episode coming out, the Nerdiest podcast turned 3 years old. That's so
Yay.
crazy to me.
Wow.
That the podcast is 3 years old. Like, I've been doing this podcast for 3 years. Jackson for a little bit less than that.
I've been here for what, 2?
And you could argue, well, yeah, you've been in it 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So you could argue, well, the podcast didn't really start going till, you brought Jackson on full time in August of 2020. And I'm like, yeah, but the first ever episode went out in November of 2019. So
I would really love
I don't know what you want me to tell you.
I would really love to do like an evolution thing of like how you started and how you got here, and like go through all the old logos and like get cringy sound bits from like, because that first episode we did was like 3.5 hours long about Star Wars.
Yes.
And it was like,
it was about everything. It was not just about Star Wars.
Yeah.
It was kind of an everyman episode, if you will.
mm-hmm.
And just the fact that this podcast started off, the first episode was me and Colin talking about Ruby. That was going to be our thing, as we were doing a weekly podcast. We were going to talk about Ruby every week, and we did the first 2 episodes, and then we both kind of got busy, so we couldn't do that. And then I was kind of left out to be like, okay, well, what else can I do here? And I did an episode on Star Wars with some friends. I did an episode on my Lego Ninjago stop motion series that I was doing.
Acclaimed
like the very beginning of this podcast was so weird.
It was so
and
all
just
over the place.
All over the place. And then Jackson came on, and everything kind of went from being like this super broad topic to now it's like, okay, well, we've narrowed it into we're going to talk about movies and TV shows, which is still a pretty wide range of what we can talk about, but you've narrowed it down to that niche.
I'm really at a point now where I just want to talk about things that I like. Like, I remember back when we were, like, really intense about, like, oh, we have to do Marvel because Marvel sells, or we have to do this Star Wars because that gets plays. And I'm just really thankful that, like, we have, like, a good enough listener base now that we don't have to hit the big topics to get plays anymore.
Right.
And so like that was a good time, and I'm proud of a lot of those episodes, but I'm really glad now that I can just say, you know what? Frozen's a good movie. Let's talk about that.
Frozen is a good movie, okay?
So
enough of the manufactured hate for Frozen, okay?
Let me give a little backstory. I was in the middle of like, I think I was moving. I don't remember where I was moving. I've been everywhere. But it like Frozen came out right in the middle of when we were moving, and I never got to see it in theaters. But I remember some of my family members saw it in theaters, and they were like, "Oh, it's amazing! It's so good." I was like, all right, I guess. They bought it on DVD. Like, oh, it's so good, we have to buy it on DVD. And then I was like, okay, because what's interesting about Frozen? Do you remember a single trailer about Frozen?
No, I don't.
To my knowledge,
weird.
To my knowledge, there was not a single trailer for Frozen that wasn't just teaser. Let me fact check that.
I remember the Frozen 2 trailers, but that was because I was a lot older. I went from, I was 17 when Frozen 2 came out. I was 11 when the first Frozen came out, so I wasn't really paying attention. We went and saw it because it was the Disney movie, and also because I had my younger sister and my younger cousin who was also a girl. So we had two girls in the house. And it's like, oh, well, let's go see the new Disney princess movie. And, you know, it's the new Disney movie. So that's why we went and saw it. It wasn't necessarily seeing trailers or anything. I don't know what I was expecting. I do remember getting home, though, from seeing Frozen, and my 11-year-old self, the only thing I could think of is, who's stronger, Zane from Ninjago or Elsa from Frozen? And that was, like, my thing. I even, like, took the Lego pieces that I had, like, blonde hair pieces and stuff, and made, like, a custom Elsa, and I would sit in my room and be like, pew, 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 and I would have them fight each other, like, who would win in a fight?
The Disney Ninjago crossover you didn't know you needed.
I can't wait, honestly, for Disney to buy Ninjago and then make Frozen one of the 16 realms. Honestly, can't wait for it. Looking forward to it.
So I looked it up. There is one trailer for Frozen that is like a minute long. And it's just a clip show. There's no like story, anything. This movie was not really marketed, which is so interesting.
Do you know why that's funny?
Why?
Hold on. I have to fact check this, but I hate the way my boom arm is set up because of the pop filter. It makes it really hard to reach my keyboard.
What are you looking at?
Not anime movies, animated films.
Oh,
I'm
is
pretty
it like
sure
top grossing or something?
Frozen is in the top 5. Or the first one is, I think.
I think both of them.
Yeah, it's number 3.
Yeah, both Frozen's
the top 2
are in there.
highest grossing animated films of all time, because hot take, the Lion King remake does not count.
It does not.
Everyone who's like, the Lion King remake is actually the highest. No, it doesn't count. It is billed as a remake of an animated movie, but it's the live action remake, even though they only use CGI, okay? Doesn't count. The highest grossing animated film in my eyes, according to this list, is Frozen 2 at $1.4 billion, I think. And then Frozen has $1.2 billion. So it's really weird that they only did like one trailer for the original and it made $1.2 billion.
Which, that's insane. But I remember like getting
on one release, by the way.
Huh?
On a one release, by the way, not like Avatar, where they've re-released it 7,000 times.
Yeah.
That was one release of Frozen.
So like I remember watching it at home because I got the DVD and just being like, oh, my life has changed. So like Frozen was like, I don't even know, like 11-year-old me was like loved it. Like it was like a movie for girls, air quote. I don't know, it's like a princess movie, but also like I have the entire soundtrack memorized. There were days that I was like playing Minecraft and would like literally just turn on the movie on my computer to listen to in the background. I would put the DVD in my PC to listen to while I played Minecraft, like the actual movie, not just the soundtrack. And so I'm just like, but it was so big. Like, it was huge. Let It Go was everywhere, and it killed some of the hype because it was too hyped for too long. And I'm really fascinated by this when like the audience stops hype for a movie or a TV show because it's too popular, you know?
Well, I know Frozen reached levels of saturation that they were playing Let It Go on the radio, which was honestly too far.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I had heard it enough. And I will say, I had a lot of manufactured hate for Frozen just because my sister watched it all the time. My cousin watched it all the time. The soundtrack was playing all the time. Like, every time we got in the car, it was, Mom, can you turn on Frozen? Mom, can you turn on Frozen? And, you know, eventually you do reach a point where it's like, I don't want to hear this anymore. But also, as an 11, 12-year-old kid, the last, like, I'm in that phase of, ew, girls are gross. Disney princess movie? Gross.
Yeah.
So it kind of hit in that right spot for me. I do want to note, while I'm here, shout out to Minions: The Rise of Gru for becoming the 14th highest grossing animated film of all time. But what is also somewhat frightening is that in the top 10 animated highest grossing films, 8 out of those 10 are Disney movies. And all of them came out, the earliest is 2010 with Toy Story 3.
I don't know how I feel about that.
If you want to count, if you don't count the Lion King remake, then Despicable Me 2 would bump up to number 10, and that was 2013. So just wild how Disney really has a chokehold on the animation industry, especially after what Bob Chapek said. But that was in the last episode. We're here to talk about Frozen.
Yeah.
So yeah, Frozen, overhated.
Manufactured hate, which valid. Sorry. I think
And Jackson died.
I think that a show that this happened to me was Stranger Things. I didn't start Stranger Things until season 3 because everyone told me to watch Stranger Things. And I said, well, now I don't want to. And it's like this weird thing where like you don't want to watch the newest, hippest, coolest show because then you're just like all the other people and you want to be quirky and different and not like the other girls. And so I think some struggle with this more than others, but there's like people that will never watch The Office because Office fans are so intense. And like
that is true, actually.
People that will probably never like Taylor Swift because her fans are so intense. And so, ding, 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 Mr. Nick.
I mean, I don't like Taylor Swift for multiple reasons, but that is one of them. Yeah. Swifties are iconically annoying.
People like me.
You and Megan included, by the way.
Hold on. I'm going to show this. Look what I got in the mail. My Midnight's vinyl. I pre-ordered it.
What a loser.
Pre-ordered it the day pre-orders came out. All right. Do you want to...
So, I'm going to pose you with a question, Jackson. Since you brought up Taylor Swift. And don't worry, we'll get back to Frozen. There's plenty more to say. I have plenty of hot takes about Frozen. Jackson, I'm going to present you with a choice. Are you going to come see Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 opening night, May 5th, 2023, on my birthday with me? Or are you going to go see Taylor Swift?
Okay.
Because either way, you're coming to Nashville.
Right.
So you have to choose between it's me or Taylor. That is your choice.
I knew that this day would come.
You're not gonna choose Taylor Swift over me.
Here's the thing. if let me put that over here. If she's in Nashville and I can afford tickets and it just happens to be on your birthday, you can. I'm not gonna say that because tickets are expensive, and you wouldn't go. We'll see.
No, I wouldn't go.
We'll see.
Although I did tell Megan if she went to the one in Nashville, she could have convinced me to go with. Like, she could have dragged me along with, and I would have gone.
So,
but
yeah, I don't see it happening where I'd have enough money. That's the biggest thing. I haven't.
Did you do the pre-registration?
Yeah. So I got the email.
Megan did the pre-registration with like 4 emails.
I got
she really wants to go.
I didn't like register, but I got the email that was like, oh, you get priority for tickets because you've ordered off our website enough. And
wow.
Megan sent me the picture. She was like, did you get this email? And I was like, no, I didn't. And now I feel bad because like a week later I found it buried in my inbox, and I was like, sorry, I made you feel like really special, but I also got that email.
I made you feel like you were special, but actually you're not. That's kidding. That Megan is very special, in a good way.
So
it's just I wouldn't sign up for the Taylor Swift registration with 4 different emails.
So here's my question. Frozen 2, how do we feel?
It's better than the first one.
Really?
I'll die on this hill. I think it's better than the first one. The way they flesh out the world so much more. I would also argue that character design is on fleek and much better and much stronger than the first movie.
On fleek?
Because here's the thing. In Frozen 1, Elsa's outfit was queen outfit, and then, yes, let's go with the super skin tight, very attractive ice girl dress. And that was 90% of the movie.
I'm just saying, when she lets her hair down in the middle of Let It Go, it's good animation.
Okay. I'm gonna give an odd pause here, just in case I feel like I need to cut this out in post. But if you're listening to it, then you probably still hear it. Can an argument be made that Let It Go as a sequel? Because I was watching this the other day, and to mention the scene where she lets her hair down, can we all agree that for the 11 to 14-year-old boys, that awoke something inside of them? Like, they were like, yes, this is it. This is what I was waiting for my entire life. I was one of those people, by the way. Which is why I brought it up. And I will die on the hill that Elsa is one of the most, if not the most, attractive Disney princess / queen, whatever you want to put on it, we've ever gotten. And I will die on this hill. Let It Go, in essence, was an awakening for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. It was a very open for interpretation song, however you want to take that.
I'm not gonna comment. I'm not gonna comment on that. I'm just gonna agree.
My point is, in Frozen 2, they actually gave the characters real outfits. Not saying Elsa's Frozen 1 outfit wasn't a real outfit, but also,
was it?
But there is also an argument to be made that Frozen 2 is very much a repeat of Frozen 1, in the sense of, okay, well, Elsa's doing something bad and Anna's got to go save her. But even if you look at the way the songs are lined up, like, you got your mysterious opening song that actually ends up leading into a bigger part of the plot. And then you have the iconic starting song by Anna. And then there's I don't think it has Frozen 2 does have its Love is an Open Door, like, romantic song, but it got cut. So it's in the outtakes. If you find the outtakes on Spotify or whatever, and then you've got Elsa's iconic headlining song that plays way too much, which is Into the Unknown. And then there's the Olaf song that's all by himself. So if you look at it like that, they did repeat a lot of other things, but I also think Frozen 1 made 1 point something billion dollars, and when you make that much money, you just kind of do the same thing you did, and it worked because it made more money than the first one.
You give the people what they want. That's what I'll say.
They give the people what they want in a much better way, and it kind of works.
So we'll start talking specifically about the music here in a minute, but I think that, and just looking at the songs here, I think that I like the music from the first one better, minus a few songs. Songs from Frozen 2 that I think are better. Lost in the Woods. Forever iconic.
Yes!
They did my man so dirty in the first movie. He should have had so many more songs. He's an incredible singer, okay? So when they gave him Lost in the Woods...
Jonathan Groff is a great singer.
Jonathan Groff is amazing. He's the king in Hamilton, if you didn't know that. He's amazing.
Yeah.
So...
Big win.
When they gave him Lost in the Woods, they knew what they were doing. And then Into the Unknown is low-key better than Let It Go. Is that a hot take?
No cap. I agree.
I think it goes harder. Not to say Let It Go is bad, but I think from an objective point of view, Into the Unknown goes harder. And then also Show Yourself. That's kind of a banger. Show Yourself is a banger. And like that,
especially at the end.
I was going to say that. The final chorus is just show yourself. Bah, bah.
Bam.
And it's just like that goes
And then we
hard.
get the iconic Elsa ice dress because we can't go an entire movie without that.
Right.
But also they have to have multiple outfits in the same movie so that way we can sell more toys.
Yeah. And Halloween costumes.
Just keep that in mind, guys.
Which so
I do,
other than those songs, like I don't really, the rest of the songs in this movie are great, but they don't do it for me the same way that the first movie does. Cause like when I was watching Frozen 1, I was like, Frozen Heart, and I'm like jamming, do you want to build a snowman? And I'm like, okay. For the first time in forever, I'm like, let's go. Love's an Open Door. Even Let It Go is a good one. For the first time in forever reprise is amazing, by the way. In Summer is like supposed to be silly, so like it's fine. Yo, Rain.
I just love it when people do the sing-along experience at Disney and then there's a loud group of people who say puddle. Instead of
Happy Snowman.
That gives me life and I want to do it. But Megan won't let me because she's like, you can't disrupt the show.
Please,
and I'm like,
shut
you know
up.
what? What are they going to do? Kick me out?
Please.
I'm not worried about that.
Okay, one more song in the second movie that's really good is All Is Found. I think that is underrated.
Yes, the creepy undertone song of if you do too much, you will in fact die.
Yeah. I think the first one is better. And I think that when movies are super successful, this is kind of what you were talking about, the sequel is usually just giving the people what they want, which isn't always a bad thing. Like, that's how we got Into the Woods. That's an amazing song. But I feel like it's the same thing of what you said. It's just the first one, but different. But it's not as good, in my opinion. I think it's maybe one of the most beautifully animated movies I've ever seen. But if you watch the documentary on how they made it on Disney Plus, that movie was rushed hard. They were still animating scenes.
I want to talk about that documentary.
They were still animating scenes on that movie like 2 weeks before release?
They also didn't know the central like theme or what was it? They didn't know who the voice was that Elsa kept hearing for a long time, like a lot longer than they should have going into development. Or not development. It's not a game.
Into
well, I guess you could use
you could say development.
You could still say development. But it's stuff like that where you watch that documentary. Honestly, I'm shocked that documentary is on Disney Plus because if you've watched the whole thing, it has a very anti-crunch, anti-Disney agenda behind it. Because those people, there was one where an animator had to call his kids and say, hey, I'm not coming home tonight because gotta work on the new movie. So, we gotta work overnight, which should never have to happen. You should, like, Disney, I know. You wanted a movie for your Thanksgiving week, and that's okay. But Frozen 2 still would have made just as much money if you bumped it to March. Well,
that's not true.
Maybe not.
That's a little far because the fall themes.
Then COVID happened.
Yeah. But you also this is
I was going to argue because COVID happened and closed all the movie theaters.
Yeah. Well, that's another good point. I would also argue that this is a very fall this is another thing about both Frozen movies is they're good transition movies into like fall/winter. So like when Halloween is over, but you're not ready for like a Christmas movie, these are really good like winter fall movies that'll like help you transition into that.
And I think like I'm not an analyst, I'm not a money guy, but I also feel like
money.
And maybe it wasn't in their budget to delay it at all. But I look at $1.2 billion and imagine if they had delayed the movie a year. Let's take COVID out of the scenario. Let's say that didn't happen and it was another normal year. You could have delayed that to next November, given everybody a lot more time to work on the movie, and you probably still would have made just as much money as you did. But I can guarantee you the reason why they didn't do it is because they didn't want all the headlines being, oh, Disney not satisfied with Frozen 2. Frozen 2 is going to be bad because they're delaying it by a year.
Right.
When in all actuality, it's a good movie. We just need more time to work on it. We need more time to make it even better. And it just bothers me that companies in general don't do that very often. It's not one company that is very forward and I guess transparent is Wonderstorm, who makes the Dragon Prince. They have been very open and straightforward with how they're making that show because it's an animated show and they put out updates every 3 to 6 months and they're like, hey, here's where we're at on each of the 6 seasons that Netflix greenlit. Season 4, almost done. We're working on this. Season 5, we're working on this. Season 7, we're writing that right now. Like, it's a very open and transparent, so it doesn't feel like, oh, well, this big company never speaks to me about anything, and they just will do whatever they want. So I wish Disney did more of that.
Yeah, because, like, I feel like we'd understand.
Right. Like, I feel like most normal people, like normal, rational people, and even this standard moviegoer who was going to take their kid to go see Frozen 2 in November, like, yeah, are you going to have to explain to your kid that they delayed the movie a year? Yeah. But that 5-year-old's going to get over it pretty quick. They're going to forget.
If they don't, then it's your problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's you keep bringing up that Frozen 2 got delayed by a year. But it's just like, I think that would have been okay. Yeah. And most normal people would have been okay with that. It's only the doom posting and the fear mongers who would have been like, well, this movie's going to be really bad because they delayed it a year.
Which, I don't know. I think there's something to say for, like, this is a good movie. Like, they did it. They got it done. But, like, it's like, how did you get there, though? Like, yes,
at what cost?
At what cost? But you have, like, one of the top 3 highest grossing animated movies of all time. But at what cost? I'm kind of like, it's not necessarily where you go. It's also about how you get there. And so that bothers me a little bit. But I'm not going to cry about it. Like, it's a good movie and they got it done. And I'm impressed that they got it done. And it's kind of a cool story, actually. So, yeah,
I will say, I never followed up, but at the very beginning, when I said how many stickers would it take to buy me a new MacBook, 1,333 stickers.
It's not a lot.
Is how many it would take to buy me a new MacBook.
It's not a lot.
Not including tax, by the way. That was just raw $2,000, no tax. I did write down some notes as I was watching.
Yeah.
Some things I think they did better in Frozen 2 is I think they really popped off with Olaf.
Yeah.
In Frozen 2. Like, they really figured out that what they were doing with him. And that was great. They did a lot more diving into Anna and Elsa as characters. I think Kristoff still kind of took a backseat to the two sisters, just like he did in the first movie. Yes, there was the whole he's gonna propose and that subplot, which is like the first time they've ever done that in a Disney movie, so props to you. But they did focus a lot on the sisters, which is fine because everybody's here to see Anna and Elsa.
Yeah.
There is a lot less people who are there to see Kristoff, which is a shame.
I was there to see
but
Kristoff.
That's just how it is. Another thing, aside from like the character development stuff, obviously the animation looks so good.
It's amazing.
Like, I think this is one of my favorite movies just in terms of animation. It looks so good. But I will argue that Frozen 2 is better than the first one. But I do have some major issues with it.
Oh.
That I kind of can't overlook.
Do share.
One of those being Arendelle should have actually been destroyed, at least the castle.
Oh.
That felt very Deus Ex Machina-y.
Mm-hmm.
Where as the water's rushing down and it's about to crush the castle, Elsa magically gets right in front of it and just disperses all the water and it doesn't get destroyed.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, the whole part of righting the wrong was destroying the dam, and then the consequences of that would be that Arendelle got destroyed. And, you could do a whole message there. Like, there's a whole message there for kids of like, hey, not everything goes the way it's supposed to go. And sometimes that's okay.
Yeah.
Because think about it. The whole premise of some things never change is that things, like, there are things that don't change, but the underlying theme is there that some things do change. And what if that was the thing? Like, hey, kids, big things can change in your life, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's about how you get through them, and you can end up having a much better thing if that other thing doesn't go the way you want it to go. To extrapolate to that, Anna also gets everything that she lost back by the end of the movie. And all of that character development kind of just goes away because it's like, okay, well, Elsa dies for like 10 minutes.
Yep.
And then Olaf dies. And those are two big things for Anna's character, which then prompts her to do the next right thing, which is a song. And then, like, 10 minutes later, Elsa and Olaf are back alive. And I'm like, I'm not saying they should have stayed dead. I'm just saying maybe you could have found a different way to go about that.
Very Rise of Skywalker of you.
Very. Yes, ironically enough, these movies did come out, like, 2 weeks apart from each other. So...
Yep.
Disney, what were you cooking in 2019? Nothing good, apparently.
Which, yeah, I can agree. I can agree on that. I think animation quality of the second one, top tier. And actually watching the first one was really weird because I thought I remembered the animation being a lot better. Like the first one,
too.
The first one is almost 10 years old now. Or no, it's like it came out in 2013.
It'll be 10 years old next November.
Yeah, it's like 9 years old right now. Like next year.
Stop, that makes me feel old.
No, literally. I was like, this came out in what, like 2015, 2016? It was like, nope, 2013.
No.
Like, So that's what I'll say, but also like it's 2013. I can't be mad. It's still a beautiful movie.
Oh yeah.
Frozen is
That
kind
was
of my
never in
comfort
question.
movie. Like it is one of those like comforting movies that I can turn on and just be. It's a cozy movie. That's what we talked about last week.
That's
And
fair.
so
You also were Kristoff and Anna with your girlfriend for Halloween.
Yeah, I was
so
Kristoff for Halloween.
That kind of popped off.
That
not gonna
popped
lie.
off. We were hot, but it's interesting. I think the second one, the story isn't as strong, and I think the second one does a lot. And I think when you introduce a lot more to your story, there's a lot more elements. There's like it flushes out the world, yes, but you have to learn how to handle all of those new spots and new characters, new environments, new like dynamics. And I think it was a little clunky at times, and they like introduce a lot. So there's like the people that were trapped in the forest the whole time. That's great, but like they're like not really in it a lot, I don't think. And like, I don't know, they were like, there was a lot to explain and explore right there, and they just didn't have the time because there were so many other things going on. And so what I do like about Frozen 2 is, I'm just gonna say, Kristoff is such a good guy. Like, it's so refreshing to have
He really is.
Disney movie with a love interest who is just a good guy. Like, I really love this.
Tangled. What?
He's literally a criminal. Hello?
Here's the thing, though.
Hello?
Hear me out.
Hello?
He was a criminal, okay?
Oh my
He
gosh.
was. He's not anymore.
No, that's what I'm
He's
saying.
He's good now.
That's what I'm saying, is Kristoff has always been a
Just saying.
pretty good guy. Like, he didn't have, like, this huge, like, oh, I was horrible and now I'm great. And so I thought that was refreshing for a Disney movie. And I really love the scene where, like, Kristoff rolls up into battle with them, and Anna, like, hops on his horse. He, like, saves her. I don't remember the super specifics, but she's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Didn't mean, and he's like, and he says, it's fine. What do you need? And that's just like, what an A+ boyfriend. Like, literally, like, he's just like, oh, I understand. What do you need from me? Like, just a good guy. I don't know. I really like Kristoff. And that's why I was him for Halloween. But, you know.
That's fair. Okay. Hear me out. 1 year in the future, okay? Me and Megan can go as Flynn and Rapunzel, and you and Amy can go as Kristoff and Anna.
I'm just saying. We'd be hot.
I'm down. I'm here
Yeah.
for it. We'd be the best looking people at whatever party we'd be at. Just saying.
Do you think maybe you and I could be Flynn and Rapunzel, or?
Huh? Wait. No. I'll be
What?
Maximus and you can be Sven.
Yes, let's go.
We can go as the horse sidekicks.
Go. We gotta go as the
Massive W, actually.
That's such a big brain costume, actually.
I know, right?
So specific. We're kind of running short on time. We're gonna move on to a tier list right here.
Are we though?
I think we should, because it shouldn't take too long.
Are we though?
It shouldn't take too long.
Okay. Before we do the tier list, I have two more things.
Okay.
One is a question I want to ask you. You say that Frozen 2 was kind of like too much, and they introduced too much, and they tried to do too much. Do you think, and I'm sure the answer is yes, do you think Frozen 2 would have worked better as a limited series on Disney Plus? Like, break it up into 5 or 6 episodes and do it. I know Disney doesn't really do that with animated movies, but I think if you could do it with any franchise, it would be Frozen. Would be the argument that you could do it with Frozen. Just because of how big and popular. Could you imagine how big of a Disney Plus seller that would have been in November of 2019? Oh my gosh. The subscriptions would have been flying off the shelves.
I'm gonna say yes. Even though I know it would never happen, which is so sad, I'm gonna say yes, and I would watch it if they made it like movie quality, but like expanded the story and the world. Because like if Disney did like, if this was like the Disney part, if this was the Disney animated version of like The Mandalorian, in a sense of like, this is their big series for a season, then I would watch it. But I know that if they do that, they would give it like a High School Musical, the series type treatment, where they're like, we're going to throw it at a wall and see what happens. Like, we're not going to put too much effort into it.
They've never done this with a series or a franchise.
Nope.
They've never done an actual genuine series, which actually that's a lie. I'm trying to think, have they done it for another princess in the same way that we're thinking for
I don't think so.
this? I don't think they have.
But they should.
You know what they have done is Tangled the series.
Mm-hmm. That ran on Disney XD, though.
Which, that is, honestly, I think they did Tangled better in that regard than they did Frozen, because they had one really great movie with Tangled, and then they took all of the great things about it, and I will sing the praises of Tangled the series all day, because it improves on Flynn and Rapunzel as individual characters and their relationships, fleshes out the entire world of Corona and the Tangled universe, which, as we also know, is technically also canon to Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
So Frozen Tangled crossover win. We know Flynn and Rapunzel were at Elsa's coronation.
Literally.
So that's like a canon thing. So, but just the way they did that series, I think they could have done something similar with Frozen, and it would have been a lot better. And they could have spent a lot more time fleshing it out and doing it right. And I know there are books and stuff like that cover what their parents were going through, and like there's all this other stuff, and I feel like you could have maybe made more money off of it if you just consolidated it into one thing. And you could have still had the musical aspect, because Tangled the series has 3 seasons worth of songs on an album. So they still kept to that musical, and it was great. So maybe they'll do something like that for Frozen in the future. I've seen twice now, I've seen the same image that is Frozen 3, and it jump scares me every single time, because I don't think there should be a Frozen 3. The director of the first 2 movies doesn't think there should be a Frozen 3. But $2.something billion combined says a lot about whether or not there will be a Frozen 3.
Can we also talk about how there's been like so many random like throwaway Frozen content? Like
I was gonna mention that the oversaturation of Frozen. I think there's a whole Frozen collection on Disney Plus, which is too much actually.
The way that like they like really, and it's interesting, and I'm not surprised that they rushed the second movie so hard, but they almost like needed to make sure you didn't forget that Frozen existed before the second movie came out. So they would throw in like, what is it, like the Frozen Ever After or whatever, or the like Olaf's Frozen Adventure, that kind of stuff.
If you type in Frozen on Disney Plus, you obviously get the first 2 movies, but then there's Frozen Fever, Olaf's Frozen Adventure, Olaf Presents, Lego Disney Frozen Northern Lights, Frozen Sing-Along, Once Upon a Snowman, Frozen 2 Sing-Along, Arendelle Castle Yule Log, Into the Unknown, Making of Frozen 2, Arendelle Castle Yule Log, and then Myth, A Frozen Tale. And that's, what, 5, 10, 13 Frozen items on Disney Plus?
It's a lot.
I don't think there's a sole other franchise or character that has this much stuff. And of course someone will be like, well, actually this person does, because I'm forgetting something. Mickey Mouse does not count. I'm referring to like a sole Disney princess, even though neither of them are princesses anymore, but you know,
well, it's
just weird. They oversaturated the market with Frozen, I think, is the problem. And that's why a lot of people don't like Frozen. To kind of bring it full circle to what we were talking about at the beginning, is a lot of people don't like Frozen because it's oversaturated, which I would argue is not a great reason to hate a movie, but it is a justifiable reason in a sense. So I see where they're coming from.
I'm also going to bring up the point that Olaf's Frozen Adventure played before Coco. And
oh, that's right. And it's like 20 minutes long.
And Olaf's Frozen Adventure is legitimately like 18 minutes long. I'm going to get an exact number on that.
Disney Plus says 27 minutes.
So it's 27 minutes.
But I don't know how
long.
much of that is credits.
Yeah, Disney Plus really does like to do 20 minutes of credits. Adventure.
Let me see, just out of curiosity, how much is credits?
It's 21
I'm
minutes.
just gonna look.
So, Olaf's Frozen Adventure played before Coco in theaters and was 21 minutes long. And I remember seeing news stories that theaters were pulling the short. They were like, we're not going to show it because it's 21 minutes long before Coco, which is an amazing movie. But they like tried so hard to shove Frozen down your throat. And like,
which the crazy thing is, Olaf's Frozen Adventure would have been a Disney Plus thing, but they didn't have Disney Plus then, so they had no outlet for that kind of stuff, which is why it ended up getting shoved in front of Coco.
Which is so sad. But like, Olaf's Frozen Adventure is like not even that good. Like, it's okay, but it's kind of like the Joey spinoff from Friends that you're like, oh, this character does not really work outside of a group setting. So Olaf is
I
really...
want to mention it, but also Cars 2.
What about it?
How dare I say that?
What about Cars 2?
Hey, listen, Cars 2 is better than Olaf's Frozen Adventure. I'll say that. I don't think that's a hot take.
What?
I think a lot of people can get on board with that.
That's...
if
okay.
that's the direction we're going with that.
So we were going to do a tier list of all the songs, but I don't think we should. We kind of like went over our time. Unless you're just kind of like,
I mean,
go for it.
You act as if there are producers holding guns to our heads saying
No,
it
like,
has to be
it
an
has
hour
to be
long.
done. Guys, my label is going to cut me if I don't write a viral TikTok song right now.
Guys, if I
So-
don't get 2.5 trillion views on TikTok in the next 5 seconds, I'm gonna explode.
I'm going to implode.
I don't think a tier list is hard because we kind of already know where the songs go.
Yeah, we kind of talked
And I already have
about-
them all listed out in order. I put in the work to put these songs in order. We're not doing the tier list.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do it.
Okay?
So you start. So start.
All right. Vuele. You know,
Vuele?
the na na hey
Na,
na
na,
song.
na, hey, and...
B tier.
Really? I'll
Think about the songs that are on this thing.
Okay, B tier. I'm gonna have to be like
B-tier.
not generous.
Frozen Heart,
B.
also B tier.
It's not a bad
Do You Wanna
song.
Build
It's
a
just
Snowman?
comparison.
A tier.
A,
For Do
yeah.
You Want to Build a Snowman?
A tier.
For the first time in forever,
A.
I'm
B.
torn between S and A tier.
Really? We'll say A.
Yeah.
I'll say A.
Okay, I can go with
Because
A.
it's a good song.
Love is an Open Door.
S.
S tier.
S tier for Love is an
Easy
Open
S
Door.
tier. I used to sing that song with Megan all the time.
Love is an
It was
open
great.
door.
Let It Go. S tier.
S tier.
S
Because it
tier.
was overplayed, but it's a good song. Like, that's why it was
It
overplayed.
is a good song, okay? It's a genuine bang. There's a video out there somewhere of me, Megan, and my stepsister on Main Street USA at Magic Kingdom on New Year's Eve 2019, and they were playing Let It Go, and I was just absolutely letting it go. Like, I was over accentuatingly singing this song in the middle of a crowd of at least 50,000 people.
It's amazing.
So, banger song. Reindeers are better than people. Unfortunately, it is a banger, but I have to go B for banger.
B, yeah. Just because it's kind of a throwaway song.
Oof. B for banger.
B for banger.
In Summer, A tier?
Really? I'm
I don't
going to
know,
say
do you not wanna put it in
C.
A tier? C tier?
C tier for In Summer.
What?
I think the song's annoying.
That doesn't work. What?
I like Reindeers
I think it's
better than People
hilarious.
a lot better than In Summer.
Okay, we can compromise and go B tier.
We say B. That's fine.
Because that's in between
The-
A and C.
The only good part of that song is when he like almost says puddle.
Happy
in-
Snowman.
Happy Snowman.
For the first time in forever, reprise. I'm gonna say B tier.
Really? I'd say A, but I'll put it
Yeah.
in B. I'm not gonna die on that hill. I think it deserves A.
All Is Found. We're moving into Frozen 2 now.
What?
I'll say that's an A
What?
tier song. That's a banger.
You missed some of the Frozen 1 songs.
Oh wait, I missed Fixer Upper.
Yeah.
Whoopsies.
S tier.
My B. Fixer Upper, S tier.
S tier.
Easy S tier
Just
song.
a bit of a fixer upper.
Solely for the line delivery of when the kid troll pops up and he's like,
Am
or
I
is
the
it
way?
on-
I don't
it's 'cause
see
he-
no ring. Oh, you're thinking
No,
of
no,
it.
no. It's the one where he's like,
Is
it 'cause he only tinkles in the woods?
I did not need to know that.
and then the way he just jumps away.
I also really
S tier
like.
for that.
And by the way, I don't see no ring. That's good too.
That's a minor thing.
So it's just
TikTok
a bit of
ruined
a
that song because
fixer-upper.
they would
It's a minor
cut off
thing.
with
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a minor.
That's a minor. That's
darn
funny.
you, TikTok. All Is Found. Now we're moving into Frozen 2.
All is found. A. B.
A tier. It's our obligatory foreshadowing song is what it is. Some Things Never Change. I would also argue A tier.
Yeah. A tier.
Into the Unknown, S tier.
S
From
tier.
the queen herself,
Get
Elsa.
out of here.
When are we doing a Disney princess tier list, huh?
When it's culturally
we-
acceptable.
I feel like it is culturally acceptable. We just
Guys, they're
Maybe
not
not.
real women.
maybe that's too far. But what if it wasn't about objectifying women? What if it was because I genuinely think Rapunzel is a better character than Elsa, which is why she's S tier? Huh? Looks don't factor into everything. Just saying.
Might I reference back
Maybe
to
we,
a previous
maybe we do a
conversation?
princess movie tier list.
Ah, there you go. That's
There you
a
go,
lot
big
more
brain.
appropriate. Okay.
When I am older, A tier. B tier.
Can I also say
I would
C
say.
tier? I'm not having the Olaf songs. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna put it in B.
I'll say B, but
Uh,
I like C better. For
the
those.
second version of Reindeers Are Better Than People.
That doesn't count.
also B tier.
That's part of
Yes, it
Lost in
does.
the Woods.
No, they're
Okay.
counted as two separate tracks on
Okay,
Spotify.
I'll say B. Lost in the Woods.
And then Lost in the Woods. Can I make a
S-tier.
double S tier?
can we have like God tier? Just like
Lost in the Woods tier.
tier. That's our new thing. Be like, it's
And
it's
then-
good, but it's not like Lost in the Woods good.
Yeah, it's not better than Lost in the Woods. Okay. It's,
Making so much money.
Show Yourself.
I'd say
Okay. Show Yourself is good.
A.
Yeah, I'll say A. I was gonna say B, but then I thought about the end of the song again, and it is an A tier.
Show yourself.
And then there's The Next Right Thing, which is really depressing, by the way. Can I put it in D for depressing? Like,
but
it's
also
not a great song.
it's kind of beautiful if you think about it.
Yeah, but it's depressing. Like,
I don't care if it's
it
beautiful.
would go in my depressing music playlist. There's not like,
The
geez.
Next Right Thing, written by Bo Burnham.
Honestly, though.
Do you want to say B?
Yeah, I'll settle for B tier.
Say B. I don't think that's a
That's
bad
all the
song.
songs. Nothing in C or D tier. That's shocking.
Wow.
I mean, I guess that just speaks to how good they are.
Yeah, that's the thing is like we can rank these songs, but there's like, I think the Olaf songs are C tier. I'm sorry, I'm not on the Olaf train.
I wish that we had seen enough like Disney animation movies to do a Disney animation tier list.
Yeah.
Because there's like 70 Disney animated movies under like the Walt Disney animation
Yeah.
that goes from like Snow White all the way up to what's the most recent one? I think Encanto is the most
Yeah.
recent one.
What is it?
So-
is the new one Strange World or is that Pixar?
Strange New World, I think that is a Disney animation. Yeah, because Pixar got the first 2 slots in Turning Red and Lightyear, and now Disney Animation gets the 3rd one. Because they put out 3 animated movies a year, and it usually alternates between who gets what.
Oh, never mind. Jake Gyllenhaal.
So yeah. Oh, we are such a hardcore Swiftie that you want to support Jake Gyllenhaal. Kind of cringe, if you ask me. But that's just me.
Anyway,
cringe. But yeah, that's our Frozen song
episode.
tier list.
I cannot believe we haven't talked about this. I'm gonna make it really brief. I like however old I was, I don't even remember. When I watched the movie and like there was the Hans plot twist, my mind was blown. Like that came out of complete left field for me. Upon first watch,
Disney didn't have another good villain plot twist till Coco. No cap.
No, that's insanely true.
All the other ones were totally predictable.
That is legitimately an incredibly well written villain plot twist. Like upon first watch, that comes out of complete left field.
Because it subverts the trope. That's what makes it the best part, is it subverts the trope. And you think Elsa's the villain for the whole movie up until this point. And then there's like the Duke of Weaseltown, who you're like, he's kind of a tertiary or secondary antagonist. But Elsa's the main antagonist. And then they're like, no, it's Prince Hans. He's
Anna,
been playing us the whole time.
If only there was someone who loved you. What the?
If that movie were made in 2022, he would have dabbed and walked out. He would have been like, if only somebody loved you. What a loser, honestly.
What a loser. Anyway.
And then Anna punches him in the face, which is the best part of the movie.
So good. Anyway, I just wanted that out there because I can't believe you forgot to talk about that. But thank you for listening.
I also want to put out there.
Go ahead.
Hold on. The last thing. I think it's incredibly poetic, I guess, because the podcast is obviously 3 years old this month. We'll say this month. 3 years ago this month, when Frozen 2 came out, Megan and I recorded an episode about Frozen 2. Oh my gosh, you're right. Talking about Frozen 2. But any astute listener will know that episode does not exist.
Never saw the light of day.
What ended up happening was we recorded that episode, finished it, got to the end. It was 45 minutes long. It didn't even break an hour. And everyone was like, everyone being me and Megan was like, you know what? That episode wasn't great. We didn't really have any good notes there. I mean, there may have been some good insight here and there, but other than that, it wasn't super great. So yikes, that's not going out. And then the episode never went out. The raw audio is sitting on my hard drive, and I still have it, but it will never see the light of day.
That's hilarious. I completely
If we sell 7,000 stickers.
If I can buy a new laptop with these sticker sales.
I will post our unreleased Frozen 2 podcast.
But
that's
it's like
crazy.
Mystery Science Theater. We just listen to it, commentate on it.
That would be really cringe. I go back and listen to some of the earlier episodes before, like, I had a really good mic.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to listen to. But hey,
not great.
Thank you for listening to this episode about Frozen. It's kind of bizarre, but also like, why is Frozen the longest episode we've recorded in a very long time? I don't know how that happened.
That's not true.
What was longer?
There's no way that's
what
true.
What was longer?
Hold on.
There's no way we had a longer
hold on.
episode.
This is an hour and we're artificially making this longer. There's an hour and 10 minutes.
There's no way. There's a longer one.
The definitive Pixar tier list was an hour and a half.
Oh, you're right. But the last
recently,
few have been short.
As in the last 3 episodes, yes, but only by a little bit.
Okay, time moves so fast. I feel like the definitive Pixar tier list was like 3 months ago.
I know, right? Dude. I see these posts all the time on Twitter, and I know this is artificially making the episode longer, but I see the posts, like I follow the Countdown to Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Accounts on Twitter, and like when the date was announced, it was like 200 some days, and now we're like sub 150, and I'm like,
What happened?
Whoa, it's already been like 80 days? Excuse me.
Wait, literally,
What?
literally, like, I've said like 17 episodes ago. That's an exaggeration. But like I said so many episodes ago that I was going to upgrade my setup. And then like we just kept doing episodes and I just couldn't upgrade. And I was like, what happened?
You said you were going to upgrade. You said you were going to upgrade in the Downfall of Warner Bros. Episode because that was the first one I recorded after moving.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
we still
wild.
don't have a. That was almost. That was a month ago, or 2 months ago.
Oh my gosh!
What?
I'm so sorry.
I feel like I blinked and October was gone.
No, literally.
Like, between doing joystick stuff every week and doing this
Mhm.
bi-weekly and all my other stuff that I was doing, I feel like I blinked and October was just gone.
No, literally. And how many?
Like, I'm gonna blink again and it'll be 2023.
We have
like,
6.
On God.
No.
What the heck?
Wait, no, that's not even true.
We have
Wait.
less than 6.
We have like 3 episodes left for this year.
Because there's one more in October.
We're
Or-
in November,
October,
brother.
jeez. There's one more in November, and then there's 2 more. But
In
there's
December.
there might
But
be
there
4
might be-
because I know we're planning on covering Andor with Genre
That's
Geeks,
true.
which may or may not happen. Depends
That's
on if we
true.
both get caught up on Andor. I am so far behind.
No, me too. I've seen 1 episode.
I'll buckle down the week of and just watch it
No,
all.
yeah, literally. That's
and then I'll be
always what
refreshed on it.
happens.
It'll be fine.
So, yeah.
So
Well,
maybe that episode comes out, maybe it doesn't.
we need to plan.
knows?
We need to plan our Christmas party again.
We do. We need to do like the whole gift exchange thing again.
Which means I need to send out a package like next week.
Unless you order from Amazon.
Yeah, but like if we're probably gonna pre-record.
That's a good point. I mean, we could talk about this off the
That's
air, but
absolutely
it's so
true.
much easier to
It's
just
just
leave
so
the
much
microphone
easier,
recording.
literally. And I
Uh,
a little behind the scenes, just talking shop, baby.
Yeah, just talking podcast. We're
Yeah.
actually gonna cancel the podcast next year. We are done after 2022.
Guys,
Let's go.
I can't do this
did actually
anymore.
come to the frightening. I came to the frightening realization yesterday that I actually need to map out 2023. Like I need to start putting the dates in the notes doc. I think I'm gonna do a Google Doc this time.
What?
Just with how unreliable
That's
iCloud
true.
notes have been. So I think I'm gonna do a Google Doc for next year.
Yeah, but I like having all
But
the
yeah,
notes.
I have to start planning out next year.
Yeah. You know, we used to have
Yikes.
so many more episode ideas, and now it's like, so what are we doing today? Frozen?
I don't know, just kind of turn on the microphone and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, I did see a trailer for John
Oh,
Wick 4
dropping
today,
it in the
so-
poll.
Mhm.
Dropping it in the poll. Because if the people say we have to, then we have to. And Jackson can't say no.
Oh, no.
Dropping it in the poll.
Don't do the
Should
shark thing.
one of our summer franchise revisits be Sharknado? In the poll, I'll put a poll on Instagram and the community tab on YouTube.
my
Should we cover
gosh.
Sharknado as part of our franchise revisit next year? I want to do it. There's 6 Sharknado movies. Okay?
6?
And
Ain't no way. There is no way.
listen. Okay? Hear me out. It'll be the summer. You can come over for a weekend and we will binge watch the Sharknado. We can make commentary
Okay, bet.
videos
Okay,
on the
bet.
Sharknado movies.
That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. You know what
Just
movie
saying.
I've wanted to watch
So-
so bad is Mike Myers' Cat in the Hat.
Indiana Jones.
Mike Myers' Cat
Oh.
in the Hat is what I've wanted to watch because
Why?
that movie sucks, and I want to watch it.
I mean that's true. We still need to watch the 1983 Super Mario Bros. Or 93 Super Mario Bros. Movie,
Yeah,
which we'll do that a little closer to the new one coming out because
That's
I want to
true,
do an
that's
episode
true.
about it.
we're gonna watch the Velocipaster. Before I learned it was rated R, which is like
Yeah, it's rated R. Kids, don't watch that movie.
which is like so weird to me. But anyway,
not good.
anywho,
I do want to
um,
watch that movie though.
I need to come over so bad.
I think we're done.
Anyway, I think we're done. I need to go eat dinner.
I think we're done.
I need to go eat dinner.
Oh, we were also gonna watch and make a video about the Legend of Zelda animated series,
Oh,
which we do need to
gosh.
do.
We do
You
need to
need
do
to
that.
just come here for a weekend.
I'm trying.
You should just do it.
I literally
Don't think, just do
anyway.
it.
We'll talk after. I've got plans. So
We can do that off air.
we'll figure this out
Wrap
later.
this
Hey,
episode up.
if you're
Reel us
still
back
here,
in.
if you're still here, thank you so much for listening this far. I hope you're enjoying the banter, a little behind the scenes work. I'm also gonna say that
You gotta get people hooked on us.
People hooked on us so that we can eventually completely rebrand.
Talk about whatever we want.
And then stay together. So, thank you for listening to this episode. If there's something you want us to talk about, like here, feel free to either send an email with the Contact Us page on the website or send a DM on Instagram. And you can follow the Instagram at the Nerdiest Podcast. You can also send a tweet. Do people still tweet specifically at people? I don't think so.
Well, by the time this episode goes out, Twitter may not exist anymore.
Hey,
Twitter's kind of on fire right now. I don't know what's going on with Twitter.
Y'all, buy 3 stickers so that we can be verified. Like, literally. This.
Yeah, guys, come on.
So,
no, they got to buy 6 because we split profits 50-50.
Oh, dang it. Yeah, you're right. So,
I low-key thought about buying the verified thing for the meme. But then I was like,
is that $8?
Do I want to be a part of this?
Yes. Anyway,
is it?
So you can follow on Twitter at NerdiestPod or buy stickers. Links. All these links will be in the description of this episode. Vote on the Spotify poll. If you need us, send a DM. If you need me, give me a call. Thank you so much for listening to this episode.
Right here.
I hope you enjoyed it. I had a great time. I don't know, I didn't think that this episode was gonna break 40 minutes, and here we are at 1:20. So
I didn't think it was going to either.
Here we are. Hey, I had a great time. I hope you did too. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.
Bye.